In the recent parlance of the management, building an organizational soul, building a corporate soul, building a soulful activity of dedication to the level of delivery is most discussed concept as on today. Now let us check up what is this word soul comes from and how it applies in building a corporate soul or an organizational soul to the in the modern context of the society. The soul, leaving the spiritual arena, it can be deeply felt moral and emotional nature of a person, or the core qualities that define something. The term is also the normally used to express the content, the crux of the values of a corporation, of an organization, or even an individual, or even in music or any other thing like soulful singing, soulful commitment. This organization has a soul which definitely leads it to a proper philosophical concept of achieving a higher level of performance and achieving the center of excellence. At times, this word is used as essence of life. The soul often considered the not only non-physical part of a person that provides individuality and humanity. See, living afterlife benefits, there is a distinction between the body and the soul. There are several theories exist describing the relationship between the soul and the body, including interactionism, parallelism, and ephemeralization. It is a cultural belief that every individual will have a soul which will guide him for dedication or working pattern or a leading way of life. Same way, if the same analogy is applied to an organization, the soul of an organization will become a cultural belief in building the soul for a corporation or an organization. It becomes a cultural belief to be found for a widespread, long standing human belief found across many cultures in many countries. Then let us see what is the core nature. It can describe the essential of active part of something such as the soul of a group or the soul of a movement. The soul of a group or the soul of a movement. That emotional depth, it can refer to the moral and emotional nature of a person or their capacity for things like kindness, empathy, appreciation of co-human being, or even to the level of dragging it to the understanding and appreciation of the greater concept, the beauty of running an organization. If you come to the soul of a person, you might say a person has soul to mean that he has a deep sense of character or care, the soul of quality, the meaning they exemplify that quality of a high degree of standards and values of a person. Then coming to normal discussion of our subject, how to build a great soul, corporate soul, or corporate soul with responsibility, an organization soul with responsibility. Hence comes the other side. Better business leaders, great business leaders, lead the organizations the long and stronger results with long and emotion in building this soul. This is an emotional consequence of the great effort put by higher level leaders in bringing employee satisfaction at the workplace, bigger motivation, the major aspect of it that allows entire corporation to become a great company, a great organization without any silos of thinking. Then coming to the real point of the building corporate soul or organizational soul is not looking at the absence of the soul. It is companies, the great organizations that have been successful at building this soul are very, very successful in business also, not only in business but also in their social image in the fabric of the country or society. In some cases, rebuilding of soul is an act at a time when purpose seems to be the flavor of the day. Discussions about corporate leadership. There are several books and literature which aim to provide lot of backdrop of in the building of the soul for the purpose of taking the organization to a higher level. That's many a time they mention corporate soul. If you are all to build a corporate soul, the rewards to your company are huge, your organization are huge. The corporate in many sectors and cultures are taking every effort to achieve it, that is building the soul. Every level, every day, they are united in how they ensure a solid understanding of the company. I repeat, they are united in how they ensure the solid understanding of the company's direction and how they leverage the key principles of behavior that make difference for the thousands of people who would give their very better life, better part of the skill, better part of the intellectual capability to their organization and day in and day out. A culture shining, sharing rather than hiding, and a belief system that fosters an environment of effortless effectiveness. This is what is the crux of it, why building a soul to the organization is. An effortless effectiveness, that means when it becomes the soul, when it becomes the culture, that is effectiveness, when it becomes the norm of the organization, norm of the every employee or a manager who deal the organization day in and day out, definitely the effortless achievement effectiveness will come to that organization. We can say, is it a fantasy? Not really. Look at the research from the key institutions that focus on the quality of the workplace, like Glassdoor, are a great place to work, and combine it with other research like Power Purpose ranking from Strawberry Frog and RepTalk, as well as Interbrands best global brands. This soul, how they have built the soul, that logic can be decoded and it can be emphasized, it can be analyzed and bring it to our organizations. How these corporations, how these great organizations build soul in their organizations, which led to corporate success, what the soul system is all about. After all, why the soul system you want to be constructed? It is all for the success. There are three dimensions that need to be synchronized to unleash the full potential of an organization or of an individual. It starts with the purpose. The purpose of the corporation. Many organizations have defined it. Few organizations have widely shared it or have embedded it within their company. Therefore, the soul system defines shared purpose of the starting point. I repeat this beautiful sentence, shared purpose at the starting point. The next level are the key elements of corporate strategy. Again, most companies have a corporate strategy, but not all have been focusing on making it understood by their stakeholders, most importantly, their staff, because staff are main stakeholders. Hence, the soul system defines corporate strategy as shared understanding. Only if people inside the organization understand vision, mission, values, and spirit, they can embrace it. In other words, they can behave on that basis. They have to understand that for building a shared behaviors. How does a company goes on? How does it compensate? Who gets promoted? How do leaders reinforce what is important? Which partnerships does it embrace? Has it been able to create a following? Is everybody clear of the ecosystem available in the organization that allows the corporate soul to emerge? This is a very important aspect of it. Emerging a corporate soul where the great leaders leading the organization shall play a major and crucial role in emerging the organization to develop its own soul with several soul role models. Several ways of building soul role models have to be done by the top leaders of the company. Then we will discuss what is the soul system. The soul system provides a framework to leaders at all levels to synchronize purpose, understanding, and behaviors. I repeat, to synchronize purpose, understanding, and behaviors to make the leadership behaviors which build soul synonymous with the behaviors which build success. World class companies, such as several very big companies which are eternally successful, such as Hilton, Porsche logo, and several other important leaderships, have pointed out that they have built this emerging of soul to their organizations over a period of continuous effort, relentless effort by the top leadership in emerging a soul to their organization. They are clear that leadership is very clear about their corporate strategy and are open about it to create a shared understanding. And finally, they incentivize behaviors that are in line with the shared purpose and shared understanding for them to become the shared behaviors that effortlessly reinforce that the company was supposed to be about in the first place. A social philosopher, Charles Handy, beautifully expressed and perfectly, people need leadership, things need management. People need leadership, things need management. It is dangerous to get the other way around. Here is the companies with corporate soul in this present market context, and many people they have developed through their own family members in the forefront in transforming the performance and value of the organizations every day around the world. Then let us discuss what is corporate soul in action. A company wide project that never ends. Soul searching is nothing but asking the right questions, eliciting information by posing right questions from top to bottom to understand how the soul is being emerged in that organization. What are the steps? What are the corrective steps to be taken by the management, by the top leadership? See, embedding purpose so that it becomes a shared purpose is key to every leader. Leveraging that shared purpose to drive corporate strategy and create a shared understanding inside the organization in the critical next step. When both are in place, designing the desired behaviors, I repeat this word, very important, designing the desired behaviors become important to ensure that purpose and understanding are live inside the company. Live inside the company. Once that is in place, shared behaviors consistently reinforce the shared purpose and shared understanding, which is the soul system. This is the soul system is in full swing. Building corporate soul defines 8 critical areas for the shared behaviors. That these 8 areas in soul searching in action is how I call in building up the soul to the organization. What are the key thoughts that everything has to be kept in the mind of the top leadership? Is your leadership principles clear for everyone? Do you help others to become great leaders? Are you conscious that everything you do is interpreted by your peers and associates? Have you created a culture which supports everyone in the line with shared behaviors? Do you rely on your gut or do you measure action objectively with all objectives? Do you offer recruitment candidates of the next opportunity to meet with you before decision? Do your staff diversity rations support your combination in this space? Do you realize which of your actions today reinforce the corporate soul? In this context, we can say what and how organizational leadership rather than organizational management, organizational leadership rather than organizational management, which can create the soul in an organizational development guide with a difference. An organizational soul creating a guide with a difference. This sort of difference can make the organization a different organization with a soul, shared understanding from dedication to delivery. Everything can be done by building the soul of organization. It is this philosophy which is useful not only in a marketing organization, not only to a production organization. If you extend this logic to your society, if you extend this logic to your any aspect of human life, building soul is pivotal in getting success either in life or in organization. Thank you very much.